Hello, everyone. It's me, Andrew. I'm here in my home in lovely Ligonier, Pennsylvania. I'm a few minutes later than we've normally been going on, and that's because I had an escapee kitten. Um, they're not allowed to go into the basement by themselves, and I'm not going to say which one, but she made a break for it. So I had to corral her and run up and down the stairs. So I'm a little bit late, but not too bad. Hopefully, you all are well and you're having a good week so far. If you're watching, please say hello and tell us where you're tuning in from. It's always nice to hear where folks are watching. At least I think it's interesting. Um, yeah. So if you are doing anything interesting or fun, let us know. It's always nice. We always start off our lives with a little bit of talk so that folks can kind of trickle in. If you would be so kind to like and share our posts, that would be great. It helps reach out into the world and helps boost the signal. So we always appreciate that. Now, one thing I will say is that I couldn't figure out how to do Instagram. So we're not streaming on Instagram today because I couldn't figure out how to do that. Um, so yeah, we're here now. Um, I see a couple folks are watching. Facebook user is watching. If you know that that's you and you don't want to come up as Facebook user, there's a link in the description to StreamYard, and you can click that and register. Sometimes you have to re-register periodically, depending on if there's an update or you change a password or the powers that be decide to make it so that you not register. Um, so that way, if you want to come up as Facebook user and be incognito, then that's fine. But if you want us to know who you are, then you might have to click that link again. Michelle's watching. Hi, Michelle. Norma's watching. Hi, Norma. Amanda's watching. Hi, Amanda. Michelle says, liked and shared. Thank you. Facebook user says, got my order in. Oh, good. Diane's watching. Hi, Diane. So speaking of orders in the online store, I don't know if that's what we were talking about, but we're gonna talk about now. If you go to allegorygallery.com, which is our website, you can still take advantage of our moving sale. Our moving sale ends tonight at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. So you still have a couple hours left to take advantage of that. That's 25% off almost everything in the online store, except some new things. Like some of Williams pottery is not on sale because he's already got it at a pretty good price, and there's other things like that. But mostly everything is on sale. So you can save 25% if you use the coupon code moving sale. And that ends tonight. And I don't know when the next time we're going to have a sale um, like that, particularly, because I hope, knock on wood, we don't have to move again. Yeah, that's a pretty significant sale, and we don't have that kind of sale very often. So please take advantage of that. You only have a few more hours left to take advantage of that sale. So if you're interested in saving, then do it. If you don't want to save, then don't do it. Of course, we always appreciate when you do because that means we're able to do what we do. It's a little bit tricky to balance not having the physical store open and the move and the online store and all of this. So, with that being said, we appreciate everybody out there who's been supporting us because, it's a brave new world for us. We're pretty much starting over in Johnstown. We have some core folks who have been with us since the beginning of the store here in Johnstown, and that will definitely help, make those introductions and kind of, make sure that we're not too lonesome by ourselves. But it's going to be new and it's going to be different. So we're kind of holding our breaths. I know that's, not always the most ideal thing, but we're excited about the future, but, naturally apprehensive. I see Cheryl's watching. She says, "Hi there, got my order in tonight." Oh, good. Thank you. So we appreciate all of you out there who have been helping keep us going through all of this, the move and such. So thank you. There's a couple other things I wanted to mention. One of the things of gratitude that I'm going to start today off with is that we are finalizing all of our trip plans for Baltimore. William's birthday is this weekend. And it would be a nice little treat to take him to have a class, because usually we don't get to do those things together. Usually it's either me or him. So it's nice that we get to go together. We're going to be down in Baltimore for a few days, and we're going to be learning how to do some lost wax casting with April Wood, and we're going to work on organics. So things like leaves and sticks and twigs and stuff. And which is really helpful because we have an angel investor who helped us get some casting equipment that we're going to be starting up production. And instead of kind of having to do everything trial and error style, we're going to be lucky to have somebody to help guide us through some of the troubleshooting and have that kind of one-on-one lesson. So I'm super excited about that. That's a really good timing for us, and we're super fortunate to be able to go. And most of that is all due to all of you out there. So thank you so much for allowing us to be able to do that, because if it wasn't for you, we would not be able to do that. So thank you. The plan for tonight has shifted a little bit. I was originally going to do the graphite on enamel pendants that I've been working on. I did a little sneak peek preview the other day of the new pendants. However, I want to finish up a couple more before I do that. And I think I'm going to probably try to do that tomorrow. We'll see. Maybe we'll do it from Baltimore, because that's small and I can carry it with me. But we'll see. You never know. We're kind of excited. We're gonna try to do a couple things while we're there, not just take the class. So there's the American Visionary Museum, which is kind of outsider art. I'm excited for that if we get to go. There's also Edgar Allan Poe, and of course my favorite thing, eating. So I've got a list that I'm kind of looking around. If you're from Baltimore or have any suggestions on cool places to check out, let me know. I used to go there fairly frequently for different bead shows, but usually they're kind of like on the periphery. They're not really downtown. So I don't really know Baltimore as well as I should, maybe. But I did just go to take a workshop with Eric Burris last year on Mokamagane. And I didn't do too much after hours because our classes ran pretty late. And it was just a quick down and up kind of trip. But I had a good time. It seems like a really cool city. And I'm looking forward to exploring it. So I'm excited. And says, "Yay, getting to take the class together." Yeah, I'm super excited. Normally, we don't get a chance to do that. Usually, I'm the chronic class taker, which he's at a class right now. He's at his ceramics class. Um, so yeah, so it'll be fun. I'm excited and looking forward to it. We're going to be working with April Wood, who is a really talented artist. I took a virtual class from her on working with steel and really enjoyed that. That was through SNAG, which is the Society of North American Goldsmiths, which is kind of a misnomer because there's like two goldsmiths in it. And mostly it's like people working in resin and all kinds of contemporary art materials, art jewelry materials. But anyway, so it was really wonderful, and I'm looking forward to it. April's helped start the Baltimore Jewelry Center, and is on the board of SNAG. So it should be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. There's a couple cool people who I know who are going to attend the class also, so it'll be good to catch up with them. And we've got a couple other little plans here and there, folks that we would like to see. So that's exciting. Michelle says, it's great you guys will get some time together. Yeah, I agree. The past couple of years we've been since the pandemic, it's been kind of like all hands on deck and just working as hard as we can. And generally speaking, we don't get to spend a great deal of time together. Normally, we just get to have like dinner together and maybe watch a show or two. And then we kind of, we have our staff meetings with each other for work. But generally speaking, we don't actually get to have a lot of time together. So it'll be nice to kind of kick off this new phase of our lives, we're kind of in a celebration. And plus, it's William's birthday. So we'll have to do something fun for that. If you didn't see last night, we had a kind of a quick drive-by tutorial on making seed beaded flowers. So if you didn't see that, that's toward the end of the video. At the beginning of the video, it was some random things from the online store that I wanted to bring your attention to. I really didn't get to do that much. I didn't get to show that many things from the online store, but there are thousands and thousands of items, excuse me, in the online store. That's allegorygallery.com. So a lot of people, they only see the first couple pages, but there are literally thousands and thousands of items in the online store. And like I said earlier, everything's on sale right now, or almost everything. So take advantage of that while you still can. There's still tons and tons of stuff, really beautiful stuff that has not been bought. So if you want to do that, that'd be great. It'd be great to have a little bit some spending money in Baltimore. And one thing I also wanted to mention about last night's video is there were a couple people who were saying that they were having a hard time finding the glitter beads. Now, one thing that I tried to do last night was to write the SKU number, and you can type that into the search bar on our website, and it should pop right up. However, if that's not working for some reason, you can also type in polyester and that will come up. Now, they are technically a vintage plastic, but because they are from a very specific vendor, we kind of kept them separated out. So that way, you can find those things if you need to find them. Some of them sold out. So if you go and you search, and don't be alarmed because some of those are already sold out. Now I see a couple more folks have tuned in. Harry's watching. Hi, Harry. Amanda says, just like that, I have to chauffeur again. Hopefully I can catch you all later. Hopefully. If not, catch us on the replay. Teresa says, glad you and William are able to go on your trip and take the class. Yeah, I think it'll be good. It'll be nice to get more familiarized with some of the techniques. I kind of have a little bit of experience just because it's always been in the kind of like periphery of my jewelry making history. And so I'm aware of different things, and I've dabbled a little bit, but not too much. So this will be good. We've been reading and watching videos and all kinds of stuff, researching the best way to do certain things, and it'll be good. I'm excited. I feel empowered. Our neighbors watching. Hey, Susie. Let's see. Cheryl says, I have the peach glitter bauble from a past order. They're so fun and unique. I love them. I think they're so pretty. Just a little bit of razzle dazzle, a little bit of sparkle. And I think they're just really fun. They're lightweight, and they've got that sparkle, that glitter. That makes me happy. All right, so I talked about the class. I talked about the moving sale. The move is still in the works. It's just a lot. It's a lot. I have been having some pretty bad migraines lately, so I think it's because the weather has been shifting. It's bitter cold and then relatively warm and beautiful. So whenever there's a shift like that, I always have headaches. So I've been trying to be gentle with myself, not to like overdo it as I have a tendency to do. So William has really stepped up and been a super trooper about keeping the move on track. There's also a lot of little things that that are part of this move that are a little bit more complicated, and we knew that there were going to be certain things that we had to address, like some of the permits and stuff, but taking a little bit more time, so that's unfortunate. However, we're making progress. We had to get a PO box for our store because we're running a lot of our business mail temporarily through the house. And since we're only going to be open for now on the weekends at the new store in Johnstown, we had to have a place where packages could safely arrive because we get packages pretty much every day. And we didn't necessarily want to put our house address on all of our business stuff. So we had to get like a post office box. William got that today. He has to go down and verify that he's a real human being. And so that's little stuff like that takes up more time. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that I'm going to be in an exhibition coming up soon. It's at the Manos Gallery in Tarentum. I don't know how to say it. I've been there. It's a cool little town. It's just outside of Pittsburgh, and it's at the Manos Gallery, Manos. The opening is on March 2nd, and there are more details posted on my personal account, and there are also details posted on the Andrew Thornton artist page. So if you are in the area and would like to check that out, I've been working kind of in the background trying to get stuff ready for that as well. I want to have a couple new pieces in that, so keep things fresh and exciting. So that opening is coming up not this weekend but next weekend. So if you're around, stop by. This time we'll try to remember to do kind of a video tour while we're there. I just had a show that is that's at the You Are Here gallery, and we completely spaced out until we were basically on our way home. So and surprise, surprise, I'm in another show that's opening in the middle of the month. This one's a little bit further afield, and it's in England. So I'm going to have a piece at the Ferris Festival. It's a part of the Society of Inclusive Blacksmiths. I'm going to have a piece there, and that is going to be at Hereford College in the UK. So if you're over there, definitely stop by and take pictures. We unfortunately are not going to be going to the opening for that. I would love to go, um, and maybe one day we will. But this time, I don't think we're going to be able to go. So lots of information and news in regards to places that I'm showing. It's a little bit overwhelming trying to keep track of everything on top of everything, but I'm excited and grateful and thankful that I'm able to do that. So, yeah, super excited. Teresa says, I have had a migraine both yesterday and today. Yeah. Mine didn't go full on well, yesterday was worse. We were supposed to go and grab lunch with a friend real fast. And my head was killing me. I was like, I need to lay down in a dark room and take some drugs and just like chill out while my head stops pounding. And we were watching a show last night. We were watching Unsellable House. Do y'all know that show? It's two sisters who do renovations to sell houses up in the Pacific Northwest. And they were doing like these fast pans, and I was getting kind of motion sick. Um, and normally that kind of thing doesn't bother me, but last night it was a little jarring. And then this morning I wasn't feeling that hot either. So I kind of I've been not pushing myself too hard. So just kind of just doing what I can do. And says, congratulations on being in the gallery show. It's very exciting. Thank you. Yeah, it's something that when I was in art school, I had wanted this. I had really, really wanted this to be able to show things and make artwork and have the artwork be seen. And it just, life sometimes happens. And there was a point where I just didn't think that this would be possible. I really didn't think that I would be showing in galleries or having my work in exhibitions. I just kind of felt like that wasn't for me, even though that's something that I had always wanted. I kind of felt like that was like, for somebody else, and so it's been really wonderful to be able to achieve those things. I think there were a lot of different influences in my life who put a lot of doubt in my mind. Um, and that is sometimes really hard when, even though you like make work and you're pretty successful at doing what you do, sometimes you have to surround yourself with people who believe in you wholeheartedly and emphatically and are rooting you on. And you got to push all that naysay and that self-doubt out of your mind and just do it. And that's something that I've been working on the past year. Is kind of getting right with myself and working on my own career and pushing that. And so, yeah, I'm super excited and super thankful to be able to do that, because there was a point where I didn't think it was possible. So I am very thankful that it is now. Susan's watching. Hey, Susan. Diane says, Chris has a migraine now. We are sitting in the dark in the living room. Well, I am. He is sleeping. Well, hopefully he feels better too. I think it's one of those things where it's the change of the seasons and this like rapid cold, rapid heat. It just messes with my kind of like it just I don't know, right here and then right here. Um, Facebook user says, "Are you starting a restaurant?" No, 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 no. So that was another thing I woke up to today. Somebody was very curious about if we had bought a property in this town called Rector, and we're starting a restaurant slash convenience store. And I said, "Heck no, 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 no." Um, oh, it's Rashawn. Hey, Rashawn. We talk about your baby every day, and he goes, "Mama." Um, and now we talk about our cat, one of our cats. We make her voice that like that. So, anyways, so yeah, so no, we are not starting a restaurant. I'm gonna smash that rumor into the ground. No, no, thank you. I still have nightmares and PTSD from working in the restaurant industry in New York. I think that it would be very different if we had a restaurant here. It would not be the critical mass that I experienced in New York. However, still not interested. I do like to cook, but I do not want to do that. And I know William's mom, her old boss from the TRF factory or the Roadster factory had started a restaurant, and the restaurant kind of was this behemoth that was like dragging down the other company for a while. So I think she get the PTSD also from that rumor, because she saw how it brought down. I'm sure there are some people who are very successful doing what they do with the restaurant industry, but she saw firsthand how it took a very profitable company and kind of held it back and stuff. So I'm sure that she is 100% glad that we're not going to become restaurateurs in Rector. Cheryl says, our household is a sinus mess too. 60 degrees in February in Wisconsin is too soon. I'm not going to complain though. I just want it to stay in that 60 degrees. If it could stay 60 until like in the 60s, like 70s until like the summer, I would be fine with that. It'd be like glorious. But this like up and down business, that's where it causes a problem. Call me Gold Daddy. Yeah, Golden Daddy, the cat. Golden Daddy. So anyways. Diane said, that's so funny. When would you have time to start a restaurant? We're not. No. No mas. No more. No more. Anyways, so we've been super busy. We've been working on the move. We're working on, William was at the cottage today and putting out orders. So there's orders going out every single day. And hopefully, we're trying not to get too behind. So if we are a little bit behind, just know that we're working on it. And yeah, so I'm not going to wait too much longer. I'm going to flip the camera around. So I did kind of change the plans. If you heard a little bit ago, I was going to do the enameled pendants that I worked on. But I'm going to do those probably tomorrow or the next day. So I have a little bit more time to work on them. I like to have like a robust collection instead of like onesie twosie business. It feels more like encapsulated, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, so I'm gonna do those in the next couple days. Maybe we'll do them in the online store since the sale is ending tonight, and then people can just grab them when they grab them. I'll update more info as time goes on, so keep your eyes peeled for that if you are interested in those. I have some of my enamel pendants that are done in a different technique. They're currently all up in the Andrew Thornton Project D-Stash group. So if you're interested in those, you can claim there. I also have a post on my personal timeline, if we're friends on my personal timeline, and you can claim there as well. And William will invoice and do all that business that he does with his spreadsheets. All right, I'm going to flip this around. So you're going to see the ceiling for a minute. Tonight is kind of like a random stuff that I found around the house. So there's no thread of logic through all of this. It's going to be as random can be. All right. So, yeah. Thanks again for watching. I'm going to flip the camera around. You're going to see the ceiling. We're going to zoom in. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. One day we'll be fancy and we'll have all right, here we go. All right, so let me put the tablecloth down because that seems to help. We so fancy up in here. No, you know, there's people and they have like all these fades and they have like these photo backgrounds from being aged, so like $6,000, and they have their like microphones that are like professional podcast people microphones, and they're like, "Welcome to the hour of power," blah 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 blah. Look at that. Look how that corrected that flesh colored piece of wood. My color flesh, at least. All right. That's a little bright. And then our very fancy diffusing screen. And let's get that magic penny up in the way so that we can, you all know the sizes of everything. So yeah. So let me see. I'm going to repurpose this. If you don't know what this is, it's the bead in the new year. I'm going to cut this up and use this as paper. Normally, I like to do that ahead of time, but since I changed the plan kind of last minute, that's where we are. In the meantime, I'm going to show you this brooch that I made. Now, this brooch was in New York City for New York Jewelry Week. And then it went down to North Carolina and was at the ECU Symposium. I'm really lucky to live in an area that has a very active metals group, the Allegory Metals Collective. Super awesome people, Katie Rurick, Stacy Rogers, Courtney Powell, all awesome people. And they kind of have helped me really get back into showing again. And so I'm really thankful to them for helping me kind of get that off the ground and going. And yeah, so I'm just cutting up some paper right now and we're going to get ready to go. I did kind of loosely pull everything and bag stuff up. That's another thing. I need to remind William to get some bags from the cottage because it's a Ziploc bag kind of day up in here. So we're using the food bags, y'all, but that's all right. Let me just get this all out of there. I was going to do all of them. So how are you all doing out there? What are you all up to? Are you all doing anything? Do you all have any dinner plans? I did not cook dinner tonight, so it's going to be interesting when William comes home. We're going to have to do some fast and furious cooking because I did not make dinner for tonight. But, you know, it is what it is. We've been super busy. I always kind of feel discombobulated now. When I have to do the lives on my own, you know, for a while I was going live every day, but now I'm like, who am I? Where am I? All right. So, yeah. What are you all up to? Are you doing anything interesting? Are you making anything? I know some of you have been posting in the Allegory Gallery Design Challenge group. We always love to see what people are making. At least I do. I know it's interesting to me, especially to see stuff where people have taken tutorials that we've posted, and it's just really interesting to see how people have how they interpret things or they put their own spin on it. I saw one person do Jen's heart tutorial. If you haven't seen that yet, that's in our YouTube channel. And she did it in silver and it looked really good. And so I always think that's interesting to see that. Teresa says, I had a 9-hour IV infusion today. Well, hopefully you're feeling well. And you're doing all right. I know William's grandma, she used to get IV transfusions and she felt way better after. Like even her color, you could kind of tell when she needed an IV infusion because her color turned kind of gray. And when she got the transfusions, she was like rosy pink after, like the bloom of youth. And I was like, I maybe need to have some of this. All right. So tonight is random house finds. So we'll do that. Random house finds 1. So I'm going to go over how to claim all of the things. This you can't claim because that's going to go somewhere. I'm not allowed to say where. All right. So to purchase from this video, take down each lot number and send it to us in an email at info@allegorygallery.com. If you're a new customer, please do include at some point your shipping address and your preferred billing email address. And if that's different from the email address that you are sending it from. And the reason why we say that is because sometimes it is, sometimes, like for me, my personal email address is different than our business PayPal address. So if you send an invoice to my personal address, it goes to my personal PayPal. And we try to keep things separate because, business. Anyway, so if that's different, let us know. We also need that shipping address so that if you are a resident of Pennsylvania, we have to charge sales tax. So, if it was my druthers, we wouldn't have to, but since we have to do it, we have to do it. And it also allows us to factor in shipping. So please include that information. Y'all are probably longtime watchers, but we have had a bunch of new people lately. If you're new and would like to say hello and introduce yourself, don't be scared. We're a fun, kind bunch here. So hang out with us. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out. We like new people. We'll try not to scare you all off. At least I will. I'll do my best not to. Teresa says she does feel better after. Oh, good. All right. So this is A lot of these, there's only going to be one because I've had to do some random. They're random, y'all. They're real random. All right. Michelle says, with all the rain we've been having and the high humidity, it's been in the high 90s. Holy smokes. In February, I have been having a hard time breathing. My doctor said I might even need to see a pulmonary doctor. Oh boy. Hopefully you feel better and the temperatures get better. But when I said I had to do the Ziplocs, you thought I was joking, right? Get the sandwich baggies out because I ran out of bags. So let me get this fistful of goodness. So this is the lot, and it's real random. Let me pull. All right. So let me put this down. So if you're interested, you get all this. This is $12. And so this is all kinds of random stuff. I kind of wanted to do something where it was a little bit of everything. So these ones are polymer clay beads. They're cane work. If you don't know what that is, it's where you make these like logs with the patterns and then you slice it and then you roll it in. So these are polymer clay. This is an African bead. I know some of y'all like African beads. These are Monique. Look at these cute little lampwork glass. It goes through the mouth to the butt, and they're these little cute ladybugs, and there should be a couple of them. So that's not like a ladybug. This one looks more like a lanternfly. So you've got these. They're cute. They have little feetsies. Look, they got little baby feet. At first, I thought they were dice. These are more African beads. This is a plastic that's had some rhinestones put in. This is recycled glass, also from Africa. It's Ghana. Notice the holes on these. The holes are irregular, and the reason why is that they make the molds out of like basically this clay that's found there, and for the holes they use the stems of a cassava plant, and then they pack the mold with crushed glass. A lot of times it's glass from like jars and things like that, Coke bottles, and that's crushed into a powder called a frit, not a frit, but it's called frit. And that powdered glass is packed into the mold, and then when the mold's heated up, the glass melts and fuses together, and the stem burns out, and then that's why the hole is kind of irregular. So if you see that, that's not a defect. That's how that is. Sandra's watching. Hey, Sandra. Um, Michelle said that her blood pressure dropped. Oh no. I hope you do feel better. Now, we also have random like little samples of stuff. Like this is from I think this was from a class that we had at the shop. And I'm trying to clear out some of that kind of random stuff that we have. This is a little charm, a little base metal spiral charm. This is more Monique. This is an African bead. This is another African bead. These ones are polymer clay. These are also polymer clay. So it's very random. I'm gonna kind of organize this for you all so that when I'm not here, you're not wondering what these are in your life. you know. It'll be like, oh, I saw the video, so I know. All right, and a little piece of coral. This is a sand cast. That's some plastic, I think. All right, so there's kind of a nifty little assortment of things here. Hopefully, you all like that. If you're interested in that, you can always please email us at info@Allegory Gallery to put down the lot number, and yeah, so you get this random little rock. This is oh, do y'all want that? I thought this was drilled. It's not drilled. I'm not gonna put that in there unless you want that. I'll put it back in there if you get it and you want it. Otherwise, I'm not gonna sell that. All right, so I've got some polymer clay beads over here. I've got some African glass here, some random kind of base metal, some wire wrap things, and some vintage plastic. I have some Monique lampwork glass from Indonesia. These are probably also Monique, and they are little ladybugs. And then some random things, including this little coral. So if you're interested in that, that's RHF1, and send it to us in an email. And first come, first serve. All right. So I'm going to get the next one ready, and you all can look at this. And that's Random House Finds 2. William is better at this. I probably should just wait until he's here. And he's so much better about this than I am. I'm kind of like, oh, here's this cool thing. Let's look at this rock for an hour. And he's like, let's cook with the gas instead of the slow, sloth-like pace that I do. All right, so this is going to be RHF2. Cheryl says, you're doing great, says my pocketbook. That means I'm not doing a good job. That means I'm doing a terrible job. All right. I should be enticing you. All right, so here's this little handful. And then here's this little handful. Try not to spill everything. That's the other thing. Which I did. I dropped something. These are also random house finds, including the one that's on the floor. I'm surprised there wasn't any cats diving for it. I'll add that later. All right, so this is ceramic. It's from Vietnam. It's in this beautiful kind of Amazonite bluish green color. There's all different kinds of shapes. There's only one of these available. They've got this little flower, some of these kind of bicony rondelles, or I would call that a saucer. Some tubes. So you get all of this for $10. First come, first serve. If you're interested, email us at info@allegorygallery.com. And let me get that other bead before I forget. It's getting a little bit tight. I cleared a path, but somehow I got junkety again. All right, there you go. All right, what's next? I need to find those scoops. That would make my life so much easier. I'm always like, where is the scoops? One day I'm gonna find them, and it's kind of like the Tupperware and socks of the bead world. In theory, we have these little triangles, and they're so wonderful. They make great scoops. This is not done, by the way. This is a mess, y'all. Oh wow. I mean, we're not fancy. If y'all want like a fade out and like zoom in and stuff, that's somebody else's channel. We got that quality Ziploc. These are actually real Ziploc, not off-brand. So you know we're high rolling here. Anyway, so that is we'll scooch over to RHF3, and these are some African beads. So these are fun colors. They kind of remind me of what's that cartoon where they're like yellow critters with like blue pants and like an eyeball? I've never seen it, but in theory, I should know what that is. I'm gonna say if Steve Carell has something to do with it. So that is RHF3, $10 for all of these. That's basically a strand. Well, maybe a little less than a strand. All right. Michelle says, I use whatever Ziplocs I can find. Don't care what size sometimes. You know, I like it to be big enough that it fits the stuff, but small enough that it doesn't have all this like extra. Because then it just like takes up a bunch of space. All right. So that's RHF3. These African beads from Ghana. And this one kind of reminds me of the flag from New Mexico. All right. Up next, we're going to have RHF4. This is a fun one. It's not anything fancy. Get yourselves ready for that whole dollar. These are some of these little plastic letter beads. There's a whole bunch. Those are really popular with those Taylor Swift bracelets. And they're not all like all the rando letters that nobody wants. Well, maybe. I see a lot of Q's and X's in there. But for $1, usually we sell those like 10 cents a piece. So there's at least 10. And if you're interested in that, send us an email at info@allegorygallery.com. All right. So, yeah, I think those are really fun. I kind of want to bring some of those to our casting class and maybe make some little word charms. But we'll see how that goes. All right. Oh, don't want to forget that one. I'm not going to short y'all. Okay. So this is RHF5, and this is going to be $5. And there's one of these available. So take a look at some more of these recycled glass beads. These ones are faceted, and they're really cool. They look kind of like a glacier ice. And you get $5 for all of these beads. And they got a fairly large hole. I love these. Now, sometimes they stick together gently like that. Let me see if I can persuade them apart. I did, but then it shot. Okay, there you go. So where else? Let me see if there's any more others one like that. Well, I'm not gonna mess. But those ones, Susan says, pretty green color. Michelle says, you can never find the ones with numbers. I have some of the numbers somewhere. But these are that beautiful bottle glass green color, which I think is really lovely. All right, I'm going to put this away. All right, I've got some more African beads on the way. This is kind of a double stuff lot, so it's a little bit more. So if you want that, then you just have to kind of know that. And there's a lot in this bag. Whoa. Who wants that scoop of goodness? Let's try not to spill this all down the mountainside. Talk about the minions. That's what they're called, minions. They kind of look like that. All right, so this is a rando mix, and there's all kinds in this mix. We've got these larger kind of bent sandcast beads, some of that recycled glass, and kind of an ambery color. Most of these are from Ghana. Some more of the sandcast. And yeah, some hand painted ones. I think this one is from the Czech Republic, maybe. But as a trade bead. So you have this fun assortment. Oh, you have some of these snake vertebrae beads. Those are old ones. Generally speaking, you get them and they interlock together. But I think they look like little crowns. What do y'all think? All right, so that's fun. You can't see the code. That's RHF6. It's $24. All kinds of goodies. Some of these would make really excellent kind of like rings, I think. These would be super cool in rings or like charms. I would hang this personally, maybe like this one. This is a pearl that I have, and I wire wrapped it like this. And you could do that easy peasy with this, but this would be cool with like a rivet maybe. Have like a bar and then put a rivet up through the middle. Wouldn't that be fun? So this is a lovely kind of joyful collection of yellows and oranges and lovely colors like that. Let me see if I can get the email open, and then I can let you know if they got claimed or not. Hold on one moment, please. It's kind of catching up. So this is RHF6. Oh, wow. I'm not going to mess with that. Maybe I'll do that. I don't see anybody claim RHF6 yet, but I do see different claims for some of the other ones. I think all of the lots are claimed except for this 6. And this is a nice one, very ample. If you strung that up, it'd be very full. All right. So I am going to carefully bag this up. Vanessa says, sounds like I've missed a lot. Not really. I mean, we're only on lot 7. I'm much slower at this than William. So, I mean, we've been on for an hour and I've only done 7 lots. Wow. Anyways, I'm not going to be hard on myself. We all have our strengths. All right, this one is a $3 one. And this is vintage plastic. I love these. I think they're so cool. You know, we don't really sell these very often because they're kind of hard to string up. I shouldn't say that. They're not hard to string up, but the way that we've been doing our vintage plastic is we've been making these little loops. And so these ones, since they're long, you would have to either have a really long loop or it's like this weird, like odd triangle shape. So this is $3 and you get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of those. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of those. They're this wonderful kind of butterscotchy amber color, and they kind of look like a faux amber, and they've got those little inclusions in. They've got great big holes, so if you wanted to put a 2mm leather, that would work easy peasy, no problem. And you know, and it's translucent enough that you can kind of see that in there too, which I think is a nice kind of design element. You can definitely like play up the colors by changing out your stringing material. So yeah, I think they're fun. So this is RHF7, $3 for this lot. And so far there's only one lot of each. All right. And hello, Vanessa. Thank you for joining us. So up next is going to be RHF8. And let's do these for $12. All right. So yeah. So what are you all doing? Are you making anything? Do you have any exciting plans for the weekend? I talked about our exciting plans for the weekend. I'm excited for the move to be over, to be honest, because I have so many things that I want to do, but I'm going to have to wait until we're done with the move before I can really do them. All right, this is going to be RHF 8, and this is $12. This is another kind of mix and match lot. I thought it'd be fun to do that. Again, this is a fairly healthy sized handful of different beads. A lot of African beads. And also some, I'll pick that broken one out for you. All right. Find that little thing. All right. So this is lot RHF8. I'm going to take that broken one out. So there are clearly African beads like this one. This is a Ghana bead. These are from Ghana also. And then these are African beads. These are cool because they can kind of be like a bead cap because they're slightly curved. And then we also have some ceramic. This is some vintage Chinese decal ceramic. And they're in these little tubes and they have florals on them. And so there's a couple of these. They have the ceramic decals and their florals. How's this for random, y'all? Y'all thought I was joking about random, but I'm not. I'm serious. I'm for real. I think these are kind of fun because you never know what you're going to get. And I used to do, when I had a blog, I still have the blog. So these are all ceramic and they've got all those floral decals on them. Susan says, I don't envy the moving. That's always so tough. Yeah, it is. And it isn't. In some ways, it's not that hard this time because we've done it so many times. And then these ones are ceramic. And I would say that they are German ceramic. And that's these ones. And then this little Monique bug. It's a little mouth. Since I finally took down the Valentine's decorations and put up a few St. Patrick's Day things, plus I dusted and did several loads of laundry, I'm not very exciting. That's very exciting because we don't get to do those things as frequently as we probably should. So I always think that's exciting. All right, so that's RHF8. Let's see. I bet you had a good soundtrack while you were working. All right, so I'm going to scoop this back in. And yeah, so I've been working on different things. A lot of research. I am a chronic researcher. And I like to read about things. I also love to really investigate things by kind of going into them and really thinking a lot about them and making plans and lists. So this is going to be RHF9, $12. This is another mix and match rando lot. There's so much in my hand, I can't put it all down. So if you don't like bone, this is not for you because there's some bone pieces in there. So I'm going to warn you because I know some of y'all don't like the bone. All right, so there's a lot. So this is African glass. These ones are Monique. So Indonesian. This is bone. This is bone. Do you all like these kind of random? This is horn. And this is bone. This is dyed bone. And this some more bone. And this is the African glass. Since I listen to our classical station, which has been featuring works by Black composers, also listening to my friend's show. So one ear is listening to that, and you're in my right ear. Oh, good. This is a ceramic bead. I wish we could play music on these, but you can get you in trouble doing that. So I don't like to tempt fates. I know some people don't care. Oh, I love this one. This one is a good one. It's a little face. Look. It's so happy. It's just so happy. Look at it. It's so happy. So there's some different bone beads, Monique, some African beads. There's a cowrie shell. You know, these were traded as currency. So sometimes when people have like these woven into their hair and stuff, it's so that their wealth is portable. And it's a status symbol. So just keep that in mind. You know, sometimes a lot of times like beaded necklaces and things like that were a way to keep your wealth with you and keep it portable, and also to keep it on display so that people knew like where you fell in the pecking chain. All right, this one's now claimed. Thank you. Let's do some more bone. All right. This one's going to be, the other one that's coming up is going to be a little bit more expensive because it's got some pretty rare things. All right. I don't know what I was thinking, putting all these little itty bitty giblets. You know what it was, is I've been trying to clean up some areas in the house. I kind of just dump stuff in so that I could kind of release it back into the universe. Some of these things I pulled together for designs for myself, so you can kind of notice there's a theme going through some of them. Like some of the black and white goes with the black and white. All right, so this is going to be RHF 10, $18. I know it's a little bit more. And it's got all kinds of bone goodness. There's one handful. There's two handful. And here is three. All right, so if you don't like bone, then skip this one. You've got the skull, hand-carved skull bone bead. That's one of my little favorites. These are these long tube beads. These are done in a Z bead pattern, DZI, but they're not Z bead, they're bone. And then you have these. Now these symbols, I believe, are power symbols. I need to look it up, but African symbols for power. Now this is a wood bead that has been painted. I was going to do tutorial on painted beads, like, because I have this massive box full of wooden beads, and I was like, what the heck am I going to do this? So I was thinking about doing a tutorial on how to paint these. If you're interested in that, let me know, and once we kind of get things settled in, I'll get that sorted out. Here's another one of those really long tubes. These are really unusual. You don't see these very often. Have this kind of divider bar. If you're going to do a multi-strand or like a fringe, that would be cool. Or like a closure and have it become like a multi-strand come down. And some more of these bone tubes. We did a bone show. I don't know if y'all want us to do that again. I have some more bone that I uncovered in the move. Here's another long one. And so I'd be into a tutorial about how to paint wooden beads. I mean, they're so inexpensive, but I think they're pretty cool. You know, they're blank canvases. A lot of times people, they kind of look down on the wood beads because a lot of times they're used for like childcraft. Um, and you know, they're not like regarded as like super expensive. But I think you can do things to them to kind of embellish them and make them your own. Oh, this one's not bone, but it's going to hang out there too. It's a glass bead. You have this fun little carved piece here that would be great as a pendant. There's also this. This is a bone bead. Some more large bone beads. Some more. They call this a hair pipe. And then that's like a Native American style. They put that in the designs like that. And then this is a carved bone. I love that kind of snowflake pattern or floral pattern, depending on how you want to think of it. I'm going to say floral. I'm going to manifest flowers, y'all. So there's that. There's a little ceramic bead hanging out in this little bone mix. So yeah, so this is a fun assortment of various bone or bone looking beads. These ones are my favorite because you don't see these very often. I think these would make such cool pendants, like just maybe one on a strand. And the holes are fairly large, so you can put that big, thick leather in like that. And, you know, you could put like a tassel here at the bottom or like or have this strung up where you have it pass through this way and then have a loop down there and then put all your charms. Wouldn't that be fun? This hole's big enough that you could do that. You could probably put two of these. If you do decide to do two cords, pass them through at the same time. Sometimes you can take some scotch tape and tape that, and then when you're passing it through, then you can gently wiggle it. This might be too tight for two things of leather, but yeah, that's too tight. But if you did it like that, and then did like a beaded wire through there, that would fit. And then put that on the bottom and then use that to hang charms. Wouldn't that be cool? I'm already designing. That's my problem is I start designing stuff while I'm looking, trying to show you the beads. And then I'm like, let's do the designing instead of this like trying to buy stuff. And then William's like, we got to pay the mortgage. So can you like pretend like you're interested in this? cool. All right, so once we move this store, I'll plan that tutorial. And I have to find that box of wooden beads. All right, so yeah, I love beads. I can look at beads all day. And oftentimes I do. I don't get to design as much as I would like. Michelle says, William is the seller and you're the designer. Yeah, I don't really care about selling stuff, which is probably not good for business. But I mean, I like to sell stuff, but I also, I'm more interested in making stuff than selling stuff. All right, that's RHF11. And these ones are cool. I love these. So this, you would think that this is a plastic, but it's not. It's called Buri nut. B-U-R-I, Buri nut. And so these are carved and then they're dyed. And they kind of have a lovely translucency to them. And they kind of look like amber, but they're not. They're Buri nuts. And that is RHF11. I'm going to put that. Those have a lovely, lovely color. RHF12. All right, let me move to the next one. These ones sold. Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate that. That way William's not like, how come you don't sell good? And be like, because I don't. All right. So there's RHF12. You know, I don't really like the hard sale. And whenever somebody tries to do the hard sale to me, I get kind of like hesitant. And like I went into this one store and they had all this like hard sell energy. And like I slowly backed up. All right, so there is some more large hold ceramic. I need to dust these off. It's been a while. All right, so you've got these really fun kind of ambery golden color, super large hole. So if you wanted to do macrame, these are ceramic. I'm gonna say they're from Indonesia or from Vietnam. We got a bunch of Vietnamese beads at some point. And they're relatively large, and it's $4 for all of them. So that's RH12. RHF12. Let me get the next. All right. Yeah, I'm not very good. Like, I kind of feel like, as a salesperson, I'm not really very good at that. But what I will say is that, I love beads and I love a lot of different things. But I think that that comes through. And I love to learn about beads and work with beads and understand them. So that's one of those things where I think that's my strength. As far as like selling things, you know, I don't know, maybe I'm like a hippie in the past life or whatever. But this, if you wanted to do 4 strands of 2mm leather, you could. So that's pretty impressive. Take a look. 4. So if you're going to do that multi-strand or put this in there and then glue those in, make a really cool bracelet, wouldn't this look really beautiful with like a beautiful brown leather and then like an antique copper, and then put that as just like one bead? See, I'm ready. I'm designing it in my head for y'all. So there's that. Susan said that the berry nuts look kind of like carnelian. They're a little bit pinker, but they definitely have that orange vibe, kind of salmony. Susan says hard sells are creepy, in my humble opinion. Me too. I'm like, why? All right. So this is RHF 13. And there's lots of these metal beads. And they're in all different colors. And if you follow Barbara Lewis, then you probably know who I got these from. She did the Torchfire enamel beads. Michelle says, by showing designs with beads is a great way to sell. I guess. I know that I don't make as much money as William does when he does these lives. So, anyway, so these are kind of like these floral beads. And they come in different sizes. I've got 2 sizes. I've got this smaller size and then this larger size. It comes in this kind of antique, I would say call antique pewter color. It's kind of this dull matte silver. And then I've got this antique copper and then antique bronze. Kind of antique brass. Dominion Movement says, you and your husband both have such kind voices. I'm sure we will all very much appreciate your kindness. I love you guys. Oh, thank you. Lots of love back. We try to be kind when we can be. I always try to be kind if possible. All right. So there are these. There's a great big many of these. RHF13. There's 3 handfuls of that. So there you go. They have such a pretty sound, like bells. Does that sound appealing to you? I think this would be cool. I love this when you use it in, would be using that in, with some sari silk ribbon, some recycled sari silk ribbon, that hand-dyed ribbon. That would be really beautiful. It's super lightweight also. There you go. But William is more entertaining. I don't know if he's more entertaining. Is he more entertaining? He's probably more entertaining than I am. Let's do another African lot. And this is RHF. What was the last one? Let's do 14. And let's just do. All right. some more of those African tube beads. How about I just hold them? That way I don't have to scoop them up. All of our numbers dropped. Michelle says, you are very entertaining. Thanks. So there are these tube beads. This is RHF 14, 18, or 8, only 8. One more than 7, one less than 9, $8 for all of these. All right, I'm gonna go a little bit quicker so that we're not here until infinity and beyond. Otherwise, y'all gonna get real bored. How about this one? RHF 15 is the next one. And this one is going to be for the alligator lovers. All right, so it's this large focal. I thought of Suzanne when I saw this. And it's the alligators. This like an alligator party. They all hanging out. This is this kind of pendant. It's all carved from this. There's a slight curvature because that's from the bone. This is carved bone, by the way. And it's different alligators all kind of hanging out. And there's holes. So if you want to have like a chain or something or beaded something, you can hang it that way. All right. There's one of this available. So that's RHF 15, $20. All right. I put some things together, but I don't know. So hopefully you all are doing well out there. I have to admit, I'm a little bit tired from having a headache today, but I'm pushing through, and hopefully you all are having a good evening. Put that away. All right. So up next, I've got RHF16, and you've got some Ethiopian brass that's all coiled up. And then we've got some carved stone. And then my favorite. This is what's the money. I love these little cats. Look at that little cat. It's so disgruntled. It's like a transparent, kind of smoky quartz. A little bit slightly yellow, amber color. Look, the cat's so mad. It's just like, where's my food? I'm ready. It's time to eat. And you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 disgruntled kitties. Look at that look of disapproval on its face. You can really get close up. See all, and then you get all the other beads. But the cats, that's where it's at. $6, y'all. Oh, nice. Let me get the next one ready. 9 lives. Yep, 9 lives. Speaking of disgruntled cats, one of mine came in just now, giving me stink eye. He's like, "What are you doing? Don't worry about it." He's like, "How come you're doing this?" All right. So up next, we've got some more African glass, a random lot of it. I see somebody's claimed RF16. Thank you. That's nice. I get nervous that people don't like my picks. And then I'm like, how come people don't like my stuff? Of course, it's my stuff all the time, so I don't get too upset, but, whatever. All right, I'll do this real fast. RHF17. Let's do 8. So I've been working on some different plans for the New Day collection. You probably haven't heard us talk about that too much, and that's really because we've been so busy with everything else that we haven't really had time. All right, so here's a mix. So there's African beads. These are African. Oh, hi, Amy. More African sandcast beads. This is another one of those little snake vertebrae, kind of, they're interlocking. They're glass. They're not actually snake vertebrae, but there are a thing called, they do have vertebrae. These ones, when they have the white, that's called white heart. And this is a check bead. And then I love this star bead. This is a bone bead. So that might not be for everybody, but I love that. And then this one, I would keep that if that was and this little metal bead. And then this is a lamp-work glass bead. This is done in the style of Z beads. They're really they got kind of popular, so then there's all these like variations and bootlegs of them. And here's this. So this is RHF17. You have this like red and brown mix. You have all these little wheels. Susan said, I've seen Goss-inspired jewelry that incorporates vertebrae, usually metal cast. Yeah, I don't know if I can cast metal this time, but Amy says, one time at a show, I asked the vendor if they had snake beads. Man's brought over a whole strand of actual vertebrae bones. That's neat. One time I was at a show in Tucson, and I picked up this mala, and I was like, this is really unusual. And I was trying to figure out what the material was. And I was like, well, this is like bone, but I don't know what kind of bone this is. And the way they had drilled it, it kind of looked like a honeycomb on the side. And then it was like smooth on one side and then like a honeycomb. And they kind of had like a thickness, like a little bit thicker than that. And I was like, what is this? And the guy, he was like, oh, that's made from the skulls of the monks. that had passed away at the monastery. And I was like, oh, I did not know I was handling human remains. Um, and so I put that back gingerly. It was really cool, but it was also like $1,000. So I did not get that. Plus, I don't know. Amy, she make this face. Correct. You get surprised. All right. So we are reaching a point where I need to go and fish some stuff out real fast. Because I have this. What is the weirdest thing? What kind of bead do you think is like the weirdest you've ever seen? Normally, when William's here, I can talk at the same time, but it's a little bit like my brain is going in 4 different directions. All right. Dominion Movement says, "What's your favorite bead you'd never sell?" My favorite bead is our wedding engagement beads. Instead of getting wedding engagement rings, William got me beads that my friend Ann Choi made. It has "Little by little the bird builds its nest," but it's in French, so I can't say it. And yeah, so I would never sell those. And she made a mold and she sent a broken mold. And so that means that she can't make anymore because the mold is gone. So there's just 2 of those beads, and there'll only be 2 of those beads. So I would never sell those. William says, "I'm at the store packing up a few more things." William, you should come here. And then I can be like not on this, be on the live. I can be in the background. So this is Anchoy and Basha beads. And said, "This isn't a bead, but jewelry. When I used to go to flea markets, the jewelry booths would sometimes have Victorian morning jewelry made with human hair." I love that kind of stuff. That's like my jam. I love that kind of stuff. William says, "I'm doing great." No, I'm not. William, come home quick. Lassie's telling you, come home quick. Tallulah says, "Come home. Relieve Golden Daddy from awkwardly talking about human remains again." All right. So let me dig around. He says, "But we have to pack." Well, that's true. Well, enjoy. RHF18. Amy says, "Next topic, something stories." I didn't say it. I didn't say it, Amy. I didn't say it. All right. So I have these separated out by the piece, but I'm actually going to, I'll sell them by the lot. How about that? And let me do this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. All right. So these ones that are coming up, they're inspired by African charms and brass. And we've got this. It's RH. Let me see. So this says, and that morning jewelry is both fascinating and kind of creepy, as in post-mortem photography. I love that too. Dominion Movement says, have you guys opened the new shop yet? No, we probably won't open until the middle or end of March. William says he's just going to start marking things down until I get nervous and come home. That's a good idea. Let me do that. Susan says, I agree. I mean, I understand it was a keepsake to keep the person near. Susan says, please no poop stories. Okay. Amy says, morning hair jewelry I'm okay about, but jewelry made with teeth kind of off-putting. I also like that. Susan says, yep, the teeth stuff is creepy. I have bags of teeth, y'all. Human. All right. So these are brass. There's this one. That one is called Accept God, Omnipotence of Supreme Being. And then here's this one. And that one is like a little turtle. And that's number 3. That's Adaptability. Crocodile lives in water and land. And there's this one. And that's Spider's Web is Creativity. This is one. This is Twistings. This Adjusting to New Roles or Circumstances. And then there's, I think I have 2 sets. Let me see. 2, 4, 6, 8. There's this one. This is Sankofa. Go back and learn from your mistakes. And this is a stylization of 2 birds, believe it or not. It's like a heart, but and then you have another one of these. And then you have another one of these. So you get 2, 4, 6, 7. Normally these retail for like $5 or $6 a piece. So you get all of those for $14. Susan says, well, you can tell the bags of teeth story. All right, so I have a couple different bags. One is from a dentist that I used to know, and he used to make implants, and so he had all these like random teeth that they make for like temporaries, and it's all like cleaned and sterilized, so it's not like I'm fishing around in biohazard. So I got this huge bag from him. And then Lennis, she sent me this bag of teeth. I guess she said that there was this antique store, or they used to have a dentist in that house, and like he would just like throw the teeth in the walls or in the backyard or something. And so like all the antiques were like decorated with teeth. And so she gave me a bag of human teeth. And so I have a bag of human teeth somewhere. So there you go. All right, these are not human teeth. These are brass. African brass. Susan said, my dentist used to make vampire teeth for his Halloween costume. That's clever. All right. So let me do, I must have left a box downstairs somewhere. So hold on one second. Let me show you something. All right, I'll do this one before everybody leaves. They're gonna be like, I'm so bored. He goes so slow. It's true. I do go pretty slow. So there's all of these. They're copper, and they're little sun face or moon faces, and they're little charms, little moon face charms, and then or little face charms, just little, but they're moon faces, but they could be little. I don't know. You can put that on, like, put it on a thing. And then there are some cornerless cubes. These are from Thailand. And then you've got these little dimpled or textured silver beads. So you get all of those. It's going to be RHF 19. Let's do $5. RHF 19. And there you go. That's a beautiful handwriting. I'm not going to put these down because otherwise I'm going to be picking these up for all time. But if you need this for a penny for scale, Dominion says if it isn't from a murder exploitation victim, it's not quite as grody. Yeah, I don't think they were, but you never know. You can only hope, right? I'm not currently aware of any ghosts related to that. All right, so I'm going to put these away. And there are these. All right, now I'm going to have to get the other box. Actually, let me see if I can get that. What do you all think about stuff that doesn't have holes? So I got these. I don't know. I'll sell this whole thing maybe for cheap because I don't really have a purpose for this stuff. All right, so there's this. And I got these because I thought they had holes, and then they didn't have holes, which I'm not necessarily opposed to, because then it's just like a cabochon or whatever. But there's just like a lot of them, and so you have all of these. They're kind of like, I guess these were designed for mosaics. And so there are these sand dollars. And so let's do these for $15. How about that? RHF 20. It's 15 for the box of them. So they are very colorful. And then these green ones. And there's some red ones. And I think they're cool. I just don't really have a use for them. There's some clear ones over here in this one. You've got these like starfish. Move these over. Keep these organized. And I guess these are originally designed for like mosaics. So if you wanted to do that, you could use those for that. And then there's more. Dominion movement says reminds me of candy, like Jolly Ranchers. Yeah, I could see that. So these are just cast glass. I don't know what kind of glass these are. So there you go. And then there's another little container of it. So you get all of those for $15. How about that? William says he's gonna come home soon. He's maybe because I'm not. He's getting nervous. All right, so there's that. So this is RHF 20, $15, and you get this whole container full of glass shells. All right, what do y'all think of that? All right, I'm gonna close these up before I spill them everywhere. And put this in a bag. The shipping on that one's gonna be, if I put it in the case, the shipping is gonna be more. So I might take the case out, and then so you might not get the case, but you'll get the beads. Or if you don't mind paying more for shipping, then I can include the case. But if you want the case, let us know if you claim it. And then you just will have to be charged more for shipping. But if you don't want the case, then I'll just put them in bags and your shipping will be less. Because otherwise we have to use a special box for that. So anyways. All right. What else we've got? I think that might be a good breaking point. I'm getting kind of hungry, so I just wanted to say thank you so much. Maybe we'll pop back on after a while. William can pop back on because I'm kind of getting where I need a snack. And yeah, so Susan says, I think a clear dish of these beads would look really great. So many pretty colors. I think so. Anyways, I'm gonna go. Hopefully you all had a fun time. We might pop back on if William wants to do another installment. But I'm gonna go and fix some dinner real fast. So we might be back, but it's up to William. Keep your eyes peeled. Maybe we'll pop back on. We'll do a midnight hour show and tell. All right. Have a great night, everybody. I will see you later. See ya.